and start my own LLC. But yeah, how about if we move on to the next question before I actually put you on the spot? So, as you see, the city of Fort Collins, that's rapidly changing, and things are, places, the pay rent is getting expensive, and the traffic is getting worse, and hopefully, the city is working into it. Hopefully, I think we are. So, what would you like to see moving forward? Because this is a key question for all of us as a Latino business owners. In regards of resources in the community, what would you like to see moving forward?
I definitely, I'll give credit to what's already kind of out there, that there are resources in Spanish that are, I think, super important to kind of continue offering those and making it clear that they exist, because sometimes it's tough to actually find them. We always I think, especially in as Latinos, we really like a casual, a kind of informal setting to talk about ideas, to kind of process things. We don't necessarily want to go to a very structured, businessy office and then talk about something that's one of our passions, even though we love talking about our passions, but we want to do it in a little more casual environment, and having those environments and surround, and places for people to meet. I know when we were starting the food truck, a lot of the people that I reached out to in the community who were just friends, that I wanted to talk about what running a food truck was like in town. It was, let's go meet at, in a casual place and just have a conversation, a very honest conversation, not just a super structured, here's a paper, here's the checklist of things you have to do. We already have those are great, but I think a place, or a group, if anything, that's more important. It's not it doesn't need to be a physical place, right? I know it's what it sounds like what I'm describing, but it's really just that organization that's kind of there to meet us where we're at, which is kind of usually it's just an idea in our head. We're not sure where to get started. We're not sure exactly what we want to do. I know we were lucky because through kind of our educations, we had already been exposed to a lot of the kind of, I don't know, I guess the bureaucratic part of starting a business, that we could just get through it. And like I said, there was great resources at the city offices and the county offices and things like that. But that's the easy part. The difficult part is processing through that vision, processing through what you want to set up as a business. I know we even went back and forth a little bit as to what our food truck concept was going to be. I mean, we started with something else, and if I told you the whole story, it'd be like, how did you end up selling this? But but we're glad that's part of the process, right? We had an idea, and it changes. The more people you talk to, the more you learn about, in our case, running food trucks in town, the more you understand that owning a food truck here is very different than owning a food truck in Denver. It's very different than owning a food truck in Longmont. It's very different, because we have our own things for this town. So I guess, I know that's a really generic answer, but I'll give it to her.
I honestly can't really get more specific than that either. I mean, it's basically, it's generic is really the best way that you can answer that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't have an ask in the sense of I want this particular resource to be there all the time, because that's not always how I think business works too. I actually, this was awesome, by the way. Actually, Startup Week was super cool. I went to a few presentations throughout the week, and I was like, oh my God, I wish I had done this 2 years ago. Done this before I got the crazy idea of opening a food truck, because there were actually a lot of really knowledgeable people that I didn't think I had access to, but as soon as you put them in rooms, that makes it easy for you to connect with them and answer and ask the dumb questions. Because we're looking at hiring for the first time an employee soon, and I have so many dumb questions about HR, but I got connected with an HR professional that answered all of them, and I didn't feel stupid after asking the questions. So this is the type of thing that I definitely think is super important.
Well, I would like to see more meetings like this, bring more people, more Latinos. They can hear us, or they can be inspired, and that's very important to see. I want to see more Latinos over here, so I don't see too many. So, and it's like having a barbershop here in Fort Collins. It brings diversity of the community by interacting with them in their own language, English, Spanish. So it was kind of like new thing in Fort Collins. I came from California, and it's a little bit different over there than Fort Collins, Colorado. And it was, I like it. I like to see the diversity in here in Fort Collins as a Latino, and I wanted to see, like I said, I wanted to see more Latinos over here, like as a.
What would be the
business.
difference from California, like, if going to a barber shop there, which is, let's say, Latinos will look, or anyone who just like to have the Latino style on your hair, look more like Ricky Martin, Enrique Iglesias, whatever, and then go to a Latino barber shop thinking they're gonna get something like that, What would be the difference? Like in Fort Collins, will say, hey, how will that with that approach? Sometimes people come with that, because I went to a barber shop and they say, I want you to do my hair like this cartoon, and I'm like, come on, man, it's a cartoon. I believe it, it's a real story. And I'm like, well, I'm showing you a picture of me with a previous haircut. I think it's possible, But what will be the difference, in California, which is a huge population of also not just Latinos, it's Chicanos and all people from all over the place. And then here in Fort Collins, which is you're the only one so far, barbershop, Latino inspired.
It's a little bit different, like huge different. Latinos, they're more like more pickies, but I see more like Fort Collins people, they're kind of not really too picky. So, but I like the diversity. They like they like to see more Latinos cutting hair, like on barbershops, and I don't know. It's something new for me too. Like here, it's a little bit different.
For how long you have your business?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. So you're still in the learning curve.
Yeah.
Learning curve for that. Cool. Now, in California, they're more picky. Did you do their eyebrows too?
Yeah, all that things. But but being bilingual, it's like you said, being bilingual, it's a new thing here too, for Collins.
Well, that's why I went to your shop, man.
Yeah. And we also bring like the community closer by, like I said, like interact with them in their own language, English, Spanish, and then we have people sometimes they're looking for work. And then we know people, their own business. So we have that connection. So it's not only cutting hair. Mm-hmm. So we create that connection with the community. And then there's people, sometimes they need help. So we kind of like counselors sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, and then sometimes we hear the problems. And we help them out. Sometimes like personally help. And it's very fun. It's having the barbershop is very fun. It's very fun. We have all kind of things in the shop, and but I like Fort Collins, like having the barbershop. Like I said, I wanted to see more Latinos. I want to create more jobs for Fort Collins, and for Latinos or people in general. And I think that's one of my visions too.
Well, I think we all agree. We want to make Fort Collins a colorful place.
Colorful place, yeah.
Like giving a little bit more of colors, with, a great hairstyle, great Latin food, great music, Latin music. We're gonna give our culture and make it more diverse. You were saying something about like bilinguals and speaking Spanish, and roughly, if I'm not wrong, I hope not. I think the population of Latinos in town currently in Fort Collins, I believe it's from 7 to 8%. People that actually live here, and not specifically to owning business, but live here and contribute to society. And I think that's one of the most important things is when you see someone or you go, if you speak Spanish, if you happen to speak Spanish, you want to speak Spanish, because I get that a lot, is use it. You go to the bank, see someone and says, hablo español, use it. I use it because it gives a value. The person, let's say a boss. If I was a boss and I have employees and someone speaks Spanish and I have two bilinguals and I'm paying them a little more or equal as anybody, the way I see it is like, if you're using your Spanish, it gives a value because more people, more Latinos will come to your business, because you have that service. That will set you apart from any other bank around the area. And that's what I choose to use Spanish every time I can. Even if the person has it broken or mix it up, I don't care. Still use it. It gives it value. It's a cultural thing, and I believe it's more like the value is customers win. They get a service and makes it easier, breaks that barrier, and also gives a value to bring more customers to business owners. So that's a big importance of using or having Spanish. And going back to the question, what we would like to see moving forward as a Latino business owner in Fort Collins, I will say, I think I still remember it. I will say, I think the city, we're working on it, hopefully, soon, very soon, we have more resources into applications or taxing or some sort of resource center, something where someone who had a business in Latin America or any other country, Hispanic country, you know how many doctors come and work in the kitchen here because they don't speak the language. Or they have their profession over there. They come here, they have to, like for me, I was a graphic designer in my home country, and I came here to flip burgers. And that wasn't beneath my dignity. I call it opportunity. And then is when I started again. Until I pick up the language, and I started working, went to a bank, and then went to a marketing company, and then I end up doing marketing sales, and then I'm saying, I'm not going to work for the man anymore, I'm going to be the man. And I now work for myself. And that is possible, very possible here. Fort Collins is amazing. But I will say something I would like to look forward in regards of opportunity will be, I know so many people have their profession or they have their dreams, and I think it will be those resources in Spanish being translated. We have translation companies, and we have a lot of culture, like beautiful things that the city provides, and I think it will be, if we have those opportunities, more people will bring it, will ultimately reach the goal to spread out culture and give it colors to the city. So as for now, I think we have like 10 minutes to go on the panel. If you guys have any questions, to ask him questions of anything or any threats, send us some love, whatever you would like. We're open to questions. So someone wants to raise their hand and say, hey, well, what you like the most about?
Where's your barbershop though?
I'm transitioning to Spanish and trying to reach the Spanish speakers with what I do. And I agree, I'm struggling with how to find Spanish events or Mexican, Latino, whatever you want to call them. Like, you guys, what resources do you use to find our market?
I will say go to events when related to Latino events. If you hear like today, there is something going on today, but there are like dance classes, there are restaurants or festivals. You get to know one person that connects you to the other one. That's how you network in Latinos. Oh, you're from Puerto Rico, or you're from Argentina, or you're from Mexico. Great. We always love to be connected. And also social media. Social media is a powerful tool that most of us don't know how to use it. We just like to take a lot of selfies, or take a lot of pictures of the food that we're gonna devour, But talk about it, because I will share an experience from a friend who owns a business and that does it from her house, and from a previous experience. In social media, just kind of don't want to do it, and he's always struggling, and it's been years, and the struggle, and I'm like, you need to do social media. Seriously, like especially if you're selling a product, you don't even have to go into the drama on commenting on here and there. It's more like take a picture, show who you are, authenticity. So to answer specifically your questions, like don't miss out Latino events in town. Just stay alert. They're always happening, something happening related to music, because usually music attracts a lot of people. It's what we love to hear, relaxing and get distracted a little bit from our daily lives. And then you get to know a lot of people, and you talk about your business. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Just talk. This is what I do. We're always interested. We always want to hear about you. So we have Natalia also sharing more information, valuable information. Believe me, I went to her session and it was amazing. Please, come in. No, come in. Yeah.
So I'm going to share this in Spanish and English, but thank you, Achilles. I am Natalia Infante Keeler. I own Infante Consulting and Research here in Fort Collins, and I'm bilingual. I'm from Paraguay originally, but I am also working as a bilingual consultant for the Small Business Development Center for Larimer County, and they asked me to come and share some information about the Small Business Development Center. As a bilingual consultant there, I'm the first one actually. I would like to share that if you know of any Spanish-speaking business owners that are currently a business owner, and includes you guys too, or anyone that is hoping to open a business here in Fort Collins, please have them reach out to me. I will love to help them. The SBDC has really good resources to help them from starting a business, from marketing, website, just the idea of walking them how to file for state, how to file for the federal, everything like step by step in English and Spanish. But my primary purpose here is Spanish. So I have information here in Spanish with my contact information. Again, if this doesn't apply to you, but if you need help in English, we can still help you. If you know of anyone that speaks Spanish, please share that information with them. The letter is in Spanish, or you can write your phone number and contact info, and I can reach out to you also. And I'll say it quickly in Spanish. Mi nombre es Natalia Infante y soy consultora bilingüe del Centro de Desarrollo de Pequeños Negocios acá en Fort Collins. Si usted necesita ayuda para empezar un negocio en Fort Collins, o si ya tiene un negocio, por favor póngase en contacto conmigo. Tengo una carta acá en español que explica los servicios del SBDC. Muchas gracias. Thank you.
Awesome. Great resource. Thank you. Anybody else have any questions? Absolutely.
I agree that personal networking in the Spanish community is probably maybe a little higher value than the Caucasian community. And I really want to reach out to the Spanish community. I kind of look like a white girl, but I'm fully Spanish. Soy de Costa Rica. And actually, I'm hosting an event next week. If anybody wants information, and it really is how can we. I didn't even know this was happening when I wanted to do that, but it is how can we build in Spanish community? How can we help each other more? ¿Qué podemos hacer? I don't know, maybe it's starting a web page, a Facebook page for us. That event is actually to ask those in the Hispanic community qué podemos hacer. So I can use it. But let's switch, give each other our cards so we can know each other.
This is the moment. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. In fact, there are some groups in Facebook, Latinos in Colorado, Latinos in Fort Collins. Search them. There are like 3 or 4 of them where I share my shows, or he shares where he's going to be at with his Puerto Rican food truck. And it's mostly like the work that you do. It's how much you push, to get out there. Is how you connect and how spontaneous you are at the moment. You meet somebody, you tell them about what you do. Anybody else have any questions? No? Anytime.